Welcome back to another Reptile Jones video, and in this video we are going to take a look at what I picked up from the last reptile show.
You are here because the outside world rejects you.
So what I have in this rather large deli container is a scaleless corn snake, and I will get you guys a close-up shot here in a moment. It was kind of an impulse purchase, kinda. So I wanted to get, I've been wanting to get a scaleless corn snake for some time, and as you guys have seen in past videos, I have owned the scaleless Texas rat snake, and owning that snake is kind of what really changed my mind about owning scaleless reptiles, or scaleless snakes at least. When I first heard about this mutation, really wasn't too keen on it. Several years ago I purchased the scaleless Texas rat snake as a ambassador animal for when I did the library shows and whatnot. And that's the only reason I purchased it. I had no intentions of like breeding it or anything like that. But as I own the animal and I seen how the animal act and everything, it does everything as it should, as it did with scales. So the mutation really doesn't bother me now, and me being a big fan of corn snakes, I knew one day that I would have to get a scaleless corn snake. Just the price back then was really high, and it's still fairly high today, but it's more manageable for me, or at least it's within my capabilities of purchasing them. But one thing I did learn, kind of random, off topic, somewhat off topic, what I have learned from owning that Texas rat snake is how non-snake people don't even recognize a snake without scales. It blows my mind. When I would show that snake and I'd be like, hey, what's different about this snake? And everybody would talk about the colors and its size and blah blah. Yeah, they never really cued in that it had no scales. But anyways, let's hey, calm down there, buddy. Let's get you guys in a closer shot and let's take a look at what I've got going on here. Okay, so this was the container that he came home in, and I'm actually going to leave him in this because it actually makes a very good quarantine system. I just take a toilet paper roll, flatten it, so that way, you know, it feels snug. They can get in there and hide. And then for water, I've got these little, what size cup is this? 1/2 ounce cup, like you get for like crested geckos. So that's the water, that's the little hide, and then this is all nice and kept clean, and it actually makes a perfect quarantine system. So I think I'm gonna just stick with it. Now, let's get that. Now on the way home, before I left the show, I did what I would not advise anybody else to do, especially if you're new to keeping reptiles, and that I bought a live pinky mouse and threw in here, and he actually ate it, or she, I don't know the sex of it yet, actually ate it on the drive home. So other than the initial looking the animal over at the show, I have not really messed with it too much, but we are going to get it out here for you now. Let's keep this little fella on camera. Let's move this to the side for a moment. But I really like the coloration that the animal has. You know, much like that scaleless Texas rat I have, this actually has less scales than that animal did. Still has the belly scales, which is, in my opinion, is very important because that helps them move forward, that helps propel them to move forward. But I just really like the way the animal looks, and I'm curious to see, just like the way that Texas rat snake, he wants some fresh water? No fresh water. You know, I've got a video that shows how the Texas rat snake progressed in its color over time, so I'm curious to see if corn snakes kind of do the same, if we're going to lose some of this nice beautiful red coloration and we're going to lose it to black. We shall see. Yeah, there you go. Now you found it. So yeah, very beautiful animal. Again, I don't know the sex. I really wasn't in a rush to take a look and see what that is. But we'll eventually figure it out and potentially maybe make some more babies from this. I don't know. I am planning to get some more corn snakes and at least hopefully one more scaleless to add to the collection. So we're just gonna let him finish drinking. I am thawing another little pinky mouse. It does eat frozen thawed. I just simply used a live feeder on the way home, just simply because of the convenience of it. So we will see how it takes down a frozen thawed pinky mouse. So there. Did you get your fill? I love corn snakes. They're just so, just everything about them. It's just, I guess it was also partly my first, it was my first snake, and I guess that's probably just stuck with me to just, always have a corn snake. So, very beautiful animal. I'm very happy to have it. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing its progression, its potential color change as it grows older, and yeah, just an amazing little animal. Now it was sold to me as a normal, just normal scaleless snake, but I'm curious if this doesn't have any Okatee lineage in it, just because of how try to keep it on camera here, how dark those saddles have on them. That's something we see with the Okatees. So I'm just wondering if maybe one of the parents weren't an Okatee, or at least of an Okatee influence. So go ahead and we'll go ahead and put this stuff back in, and then I will show you some more candid footage of it, and hopefully we'll also get some feeding action. No, stay down there. Okay, just real quick, this was the other Okatee looking scaleless he had, and this is the one I actually chose. I just felt that it had stronger, brighter colors, so I just wanted to quick throw these show videos. Again, this is the original. This is the first one, the one I passed on. Okay, so we're going to attempt to feed it for the first time here at my house. as far as frozen thawed. I'm not really thrilled about the bedding that's in here. I am going to replace it. Probably just go with paper towel. I probably should have just done it before this, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. But anyways, so I put a little piece of paper towel in here because that's where I'm going to put the frozen thawed Pinky Mouse, just to try to avoid some substrate getting stuck to the Pinky Mouse and the little snake potentially eating it. I'm not too worried if we get a little bit of shake and bake on the mouse, but the chips in this are relatively big to the snake size, so I just took it as a little precaution. I will be cleaning out those wood chips and just going with paper towel in the future. Or another alternative would be the Reptile chips or sandy chips. It's a little square, flaky aspen thing that's not too bad either. Not readily available to me in my area, other than the Zoo Med overpriced stuff at the chain pet stores. But anyways, you can see the snake shows a little bit of interest in it, but I'm gonna give you the spoiler warning now. It does not eat in this session. I'm assuming just too much movement. I've got lights on. I've got 2 different cameras perched over the top of it, trying to capture the footage. And yeah, so it was a lot for a new snake. Rarely do they eat with this much pressure and this this much movement and stuff around them. So he did eat later off camera when the room was dark and there's no movement around and the snake felt comfortable. But I did give it a good try to capture it on film here for you guys. Just didn't work out this time, so we'll get it feeding a few times before I attempt this again. It's not really hugely important that I capture on footage. It eats the same as every other snake out there, so it's not anything that's exactly groundbreaking footage. So, but I thought it'd be fun if I could capture it eating for you guys. But yeah, it's not the way the cards were dealt this time. So as you can see, it showed a lot of interest. I think it was just too scared with everything going on around it. It probably just felt too vulnerable, too exposed to risk diverting its attention into eating these rodents and potentially getting attacked itself. So at least that's how I interpret what's going on. Sometimes if you just touch them, you can provoke that strike to for them to bite it and to eat it. That's how I often get the coral anery that I have to eat. So once I touch him with it, he usually strikes, or I guess that's a female, or sold to me as a female. So I tried that a few times with this one. I even just try leaving the mouse and with some little bit of wiggle movement going on to just simulate that it's alive. And while there was a lot of interest, I think it just was, the situation was just too overwhelming that the snake would commit to actually eating the Pinky Mouse. So yeah, you see now it's in fleeing mode. Now it wants to just get away. It wants to wants to be somewhere else. It doesn't want to be in this situation. It is no longer interested in food at all. There at the beginning it was kind of interested, but now it's given up on it, and as you can see, it is looking to just get away from the situation. So instead of stressing the snake out, I end up just stopping here, putting the lid on, and just letting the snake be. So thank you for watching.
Shut up and sit down.